Elm Logistics. For all your logistic needs, call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
And you talk about this family of wrestling, and wrestling's had more than its signs of warts. Okay, we know all the history of some of the bad stuff that's happened, but why they have to protect each other? I mean, let's use it for example. Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff, right? You wrestled with him early on in your career in the AWA, right? Don't tell me. Look, I'm going to ask you honestly. You guys knew what that fucking guy was doing to children, right? You guys all knew what. You did not know that. No one knew what was going on.
No, I tell you what I knew was him and his wife were freakazoids because he opened a bar up in wherever the heck it was, St. Cloud or wherever the heck he lived, which was about an hour outside of Minneapolis. And when he first opened it, it was like a little bitty rock and roll bar. He had that damn jukebox. It was like a little rock and roll bar, that's Rock and Roll Zumhoff. And knew him on the road as a partier, but all into the women of any age, not necessarily any color, but any age, the older ones down to the younger ones. When I say younger, like 22, 24, I never, even at his bar, never seen him dipping below, 20, to where I would say to him, Buck, man, what the fuck are you doing? Never saw that. What I did see was at his bar was him and his wife are working, she'll be behind the bar. He meets a girl at his club, takes her to the men's bathroom, is in there a while. We don't got to guess what the hell's going on. And his wife seen him go in there. And, I'm watching it. It's none of my business, so I'm not going to go say, hey, man, your wife saw you. I'm just like, wow. Why would you do that right in front of your wife? Until me and Sean saw her get together with a dude from her bar, where she was working it, and go to the women's bathroom with him. That's when we don't lean back like, oh, okay, I get it now, the open relationship. But it was just like, Buck, no, not underage like that. Wasn't it supposed to be his daughter?
There's rumors. I don't know how. Again, allegedly, didn't he lock his daughter in a cage and used her as a sex slave?
I didn't hear that part. I heard she was like 13 or 14, and he was doing things with her. I did hear that, which just shocked me because Buck, he didn't always get the most pretty girls, but he was always with somebody on the road. He was always with a female. You just wouldn't look at him and think, yeah, he's going to get with a kid now. He's with everybody, ugly and pretty. And the age range from, like I said, 20, we'll just go with 20 as youngest, on up to like 70. But there was no signs that pointed at perversion like that.
Jimmy, not to knock us off subject, Marty, I got to ask you, what's the oldest woman you've ever banged?
You asking Jimmy or me?
I'm asking you, man. What am I asking Jimmy for?
I thought you said Jimmy.
No, I did, because Jimmy's got a question. I just wanted to get that one in. What is the oldest that Marty Jannetty decided to hook up with?
I would say 50.
That's not old. You never hooked up with like a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old or something like that, just for shits and giggles?
No, I don't think it'll work for me. But when I was with that girl, she was. We had met in Kuwait, and over there during all that bad time. But we were going to Kuwait to wrestle. I'd met her there. She was married to a high up sheik. And she came back to the States and happened to be in Orlando. I don't remember how we got in contact, but she was like, I want to see you. I want to see. And she was very pretty. But like I said, she was like 50. And at the time I was 36, so 50 seems a little more than when you're 60. 50 is not bad.
Right.
But I felt weird because, being conscientious of the fact the whole time during the playing around the sex, I'm thinking 50, what's it going to be like? Is it going to be just a big mud puddle hole or what's it going to be? and, got in it and it was like, well, this ain't even bad. But the only thing,
It ain't that bad. It's all right.
He basically has an age cap at 50.
I-
That's it. That's the cutoff. That's it.
I just want to know the mud puddle thing. Like, what's that all about?
Mud puddle.
well, when I say mud puddle, that's going to sound like my black girls. You think I'm not talking about my black girls. I just meant like big, loose, and wet.
What do you mean, all worn out and shit?
Yeah, 50, you probably didn't. Some of the elasticity is probably going around. If you have
Wow. You need a
you take a
GPS to hit the vulva.
you take a
Wow.
rubber band and walk around with a rubber band, stretching it back and as far as it'll go for like
Wow.
20,
Were you in there,
30
Marty?
years.
Like, were you in there? Like, is anyone home? Home.
Hello out there in TV
And
land,
then,
land. That's
you
great.
know what was
That's
crazy?
great.
The craziest thing that came out of that with the 50, I can't think of her name, but she, like I said, she was wealthy because of who she married over in Kuwait. And she told me, she's like, well, I really like it in the back, in the butt. And that's not, I've never, well, I take that back. The one time and then poo poo fell out of her butt all over my llama hair
Come on,
carpet.
right. Oh man, this is wow. Okay, go ahead.
But she was
Wait a
like,
minute, it fell on your luggage. Is that what you
oh
said?
no, the time I was at my house in Orlando, I had just bought llama hair carpet for that room.
Hey, you don't want to mess up. Listen, you don't want to mess up that llama hair.
Here we
man.
go with
You
the
can't
llama
get that stuff
carpet
out.
again. Yeah.
Can I ask you what kind of
Imagine-
cleaning equipment did you use to clean your llama
But I had to
carpet?
call Stanley Steamer and they didn't even want to mess with it. but it's like with that llama hair, it looked like when you just look at it, it looked like somebody dropped a can of Brunswick stew on the floor.
Oh,
Dinty
And
Moore. Dinty Moore
but
stew.
and the way that one worked out, you again, she's one. Oh, just please, it's my favorite. It's my favorite, and I didn't want to. And
what? Dropping a log on the carpet is her favorite?
no, doing it to what causes that? Doing it in the butt. Remember that song way back? Do it in the butt. Do it in the butt all night long. The
Was that
old
playing?
song.
It's a Friday night on Monte The Pharaoh, Jimmy. It's a Friday night, brother.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right, it is. But she tells me, please, just, and I'm thinking, please, okay, let me, let me do. I'll do it once, and that's it. And I told her that, so don't expect it all the time. And so plopped in there, and it's, I'm sure I was making faces, but she's standing, she's been over the bed, so it's like one of those positions. And then behind, and they get a knock at the door, and I was like, thank God, because I
You're
got to go
already
get the door.
knocking on the back door. Who's coming in the room now?
Yeah. And so when I pulled out, I said, I got to go get that. It might be important. When I pulled out, that's when it just all over the carpet. It was so disgusting. She knew not to even try to ask again.
Jimmy, you think the dirt sheets will pick up this story?
Oh, I didn't think about that shit.
Well, it's pretty dirty. I mean, it sounds filthy. He needed Stanley Steamer. You know what I mean?
I need a shower after this one, man. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Good, Jimmy. Jesus Christ.
I don't feel well. I don't feel well after hearing that. This is not good. Well, why don't we go from one crazy person to another?
By the way, that little vignette was sponsored by Stanley Steamers, guys. Go ahead.
Oh, really? Yeah, they'll be calling us tomorrow, Mike.
You know what was crazy too? At that time, the Orlando house, I was seeing one of the girls I was seeing that was in town local. Her dad had owned a branch of Stanley Steamer, and her name was Tara. I don't want to say Reinhardt, but I'll just say Tara. And her dad owned that, so I just She was a cluck, bad. You know, people like that is just dropping everything, running into shit and dropping. Biggest clucks in the world. Well, I just had my carpet cleaned, not by Stanley Steamer, but it was clean. It was just freshly, you know, she goes to the kitchen and gets a plate of spaghetti. I made some spaghetti, and she goes walking back in and stumbles, and spaghetti goes all over the damn carpet. I just had cleaned, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she goes, oh, it's okay. My daddy, works at Stanley Steamer. I can probably get you a discount. A discount? Shit. You did that shit. You fucking pay for it. Damn discount.